Have you ever felt lost, tired of fighting alone, not knowing where to turn? Have you felt that no matter how hard you try, the results just don't show up? What if I told you there's a way to completely transform your life? A way that doesn't depend only on your own effort, but on giving your life over to God? Today, we're going to talk exactly about that. How letting God guide your life can bring surprising results, miracles, and a peace you may never have experienced. Imagine for a moment the relief of not having to carry all your problems, worries, and challenges alone. Imagine having someone greater, someone wise and loving, guiding every step you take. Wouldn't it be wonderful to feel that every decision, every obstacle, every difficult situation is being watched over and guided by someone who wants the best for you? That's the power of surrender. But what does it mean to give your life to God? It's not just a nice phrase or an empty promise. Giving your life to God is trusting completely, even when we don't understand what's happening. It's recognizing that not everything depends on us, and that there's a divine intelligence that can guide us perfectly. It's letting go of control and allowing something greater to lead our steps, thoughts, and feelings. Many people are afraid of this surrender. They think, if I give my life to God, I'll lose my freedom. But the truth is exactly the opposite. When you give your life to God, you find true freedom because you stop fighting against invisible chains, fears, and limitations that often keep us from moving forward. Surrender frees us from anxiety, guilt, and frustration, connecting us to a bigger plan that only faith can reveal. Have you ever heard stories of people facing impossible situations and suddenly something completely changed? Maybe you've even experienced moments like that yourself, without realizing it was the result of sincere surrender to God. Genuine faith transforms the way we see our circumstances. It gives us courage to act, but also patience to wait, knowing that divine timing is perfect. Now I want to invite you to reflect. What have you been trying to control on your own that perhaps it's time to give to God? Is it a relationship, a job, your health, or the achievement of a dream? Think sincerely. What are you holding on to so tightly that it's preventing miracles from happening? The first key to experiencing real transformation is precisely this: letting go of control and trusting. But attention, surrender doesn't mean just waiting passively for things to happen. True surrender requires action guided by faith. It means making decisions aligned with divine principles, praying, asking for guidance, but also acting with courage and wisdom, trusting that each step will be supported. It's like walking a path you don't fully know, but being certain that someone is ahead, lighting the way. And this is where many give up before even trying, out of fear, pride, or thinking they need to solve everything on their own. But what if you dared to trust? What if you allowed God to fully guide your life without holding anything back? What kind of miracles could start happening? What changes would you see in your career, your relationships, your health, and most importantly, your inner peace? Throughout this video, we'll explore inspiring stories, practical examples, and concrete steps you can start applying today to experience the power of surrender. We'll talk about real-life experiences of people who, by giving their lives to God, witnessed incredible transformations. You'll realize that even in times of pain or uncertainty, faith can open doors you didn't even know existed. And to start, I want you to ask yourself, how willing are you to let God guide your life? This isn't a question to answer quickly. Think with an open heart. Think about what you truly want for your life. True surrender begins with this deep reflection, and it's precisely this reflection that prepares the ground for miracles to happen. Before we go further, I want you to know this is just the beginning of a transformative journey. In the next few minutes, we'll dive even deeper, revealing how to let go of control, cultivate faith, and recognize God's signs in your life. If you stay attentive, what you learn here could change the way you face every challenge, dream, and desire in your heart. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel Message from the Angels today, take a moment to subscribe and leave a like, because here we share content that touches the soul and transforms lives daily. And get ready, the best is yet to come, and you won't want to miss a single detail. When we talk about giving your life to God, many people ask, but does this really work? Do miracles really happen? The answer is in the real experiences of thousands of people who, just like you, decided to trust completely. Stories of transformation aren't just old tales or vague promises. They are living proof that when we make space for God to guide our lives, extraordinary things start happening. Consider the example of Maria, an ordinary woman who worried about her career and financial stability. She tried to control every detail, worked as hard as she could, but nothing seemed to work. It was only when she decided to give her worries to God, with faith and trust, that doors began to open. A new job, Opportunities that once seemed impossible, and a peace she had never felt came to her unexpectedly. What changed? Maria simply trusted, and that trust transformed every decision and every moment of her life. And you may be thinking, but I've tried to trust, and nothing happened. That's normal. True surrender requires persistence and patience. Often, the miracle doesn't come exactly when we expect it, but the change has already begun from the inside out. Giving your life to God isn't just waiting for Him to do everything for you. It's allowing Him to shape your mind, heart, and actions so that the final outcome is perfect. Another important point is recognizing God's signs. They don't always come in grand ways. Often they are subtle, quiet, but extremely powerful. An unexpected encounter, an opportunity that suddenly appears, an intuition guiding an important decision. All of this can be God's way of leading your life. Learning to notice these signs is essential to strengthen your faith and keep moving forward. And here's an important question. Can you identify moments in your life where something greater was guiding your steps, even if you didn't realize it at the time? Maybe it was an unexpected meeting, a meaningful conversation, or even a dream that brought clarity. These moments are small clues that God is at work, leading your life to places you can't even imagine. Now let's talk about emotional and spiritual surrender. Often we carry grudges, resentment, and fears that prevent us from trusting fully. Giving your life to God also means letting go of these chains, forgiving, accepting, and creating space for transformation. It's like releasing a balloon that's stuck. While we hold it, it can't fly. When we let go, it rises and becomes free. In the same way, by releasing our worries and giving our pain to God, we create room for miracles and opportunities. Furthermore, surrendering to God connects us to a network of faith, people, and energies that strengthen and inspire us. When we trust and share our journey, we inspire others to do the same, creating a cycle of collective transformation. Faith multiplies when lived and shared sincerely, and the results become evident both in our lives and in the lives of those around us. And you may be wondering, how do I start this surrender? Where should I begin? The first step is simple but powerful. Recognize that we can't control everything on our own. The second step is to pray, ask for guidance, and open your heart. The third step is to act with courage, making decisions aligned with divine principles and trusting that each step will be guided. And finally, the fourth step is to pay attention to the signs, learning to recognize the responses that appear in your life. But don't be mistaken, the path of surrender is continuous. It's not something that happens once and that's it. It's a daily practice, a constant commitment to put faith above fear, trust above doubt, and hope above despair. Each day you give your life to God, you strengthen your faith and prepare the ground for even greater miracles. And here's a powerful reflection. What could you accomplish if you trusted completely, without reservations, without fear? Think about the difference between fighting alone and walking guided by someone who never fails, who has a perfect plan for you. This is the essence of surrender: freedom, peace, and transformation. In the next few minutes, we'll explore even more impactful stories, examples of overcoming challenges that seem impossible, but become reality when we trust in the power of surrender. We'll also discover how small changes in attitude can open doors to miracles you never imagined. So far, we've talked about the power of surrender, stories of transformation, and signs of God's presence. Now it's time to take concrete steps that you can apply today to really allow God to guide your life and start witnessing miracles. These steps are simple, but require dedication, courage, and genuine faith. 1. Recognize the need for surrender. The first step is to admit that no matter how hard you try, there are human limits we cannot surpass on our own. Often, we try to control everything, wearing ourselves out and getting frustrated. Recognizing that we need divine help is the beginning of true transformation. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control that perhaps I should give to God? This is the moment to look within and identify where you need to let go of control. 2. Pray sincerely. Prayer is the bridge that connects your heart to God's presence. You don't need sophisticated words. What matters is sincerity. Speak to God as you would to a friend. Share your worries, fears, and desires, and ask for guidance. Prayer doesn't have to be long, but it must be heartfelt, allowing faith to begin moving mountains inside you. 3. Trust and act. Giving your life to God doesn't mean staying passive. True trust requires action. This means making decisions aligned with your values and divine principles, even when the path isn't fully clear. Believe that every step taken in faith is guided, and that you're not alone. Remember, faith without action is incomplete, and true surrender combines trust and movement. 4. Observe and recognize signs. Often God communicates in subtle ways, through dreams, intuitions, unexpected encounters, or even everyday signs. Learning to notice these manifestations is essential to strengthen faith and continue the journey of surrender. Every sign, no matter how small, is a confirmation that you are on the right path and that miracles are being prepared. 5. Free yourself from fears and resentments. The weight of grudges, resentment, and fear can prevent you from experiencing miracles. Forgiving, accepting, and releasing these negative emotions is a crucial part of surrender. Think of the feeling of letting go of something that has held you for years, a deep and liberating relief. This is exactly how giving your life to God works. It creates space for blessings and opportunities. To illustrate these steps, let's meet João. João faced enormous difficulties in his financial and personal life. He tried to control every situation, but nothing seemed to work. When he decided to apply these steps, recognizing the need for surrender, praying sincerely, acting in faith, observing signs, and releasing fears, his life began to change in surprising ways. He found new opportunities, relationships strengthened, and an inner peace he had never imagined. The secret? Full trust and sincere surrender. Another inspiring story is Anna's, who struggled with health issues and anxiety. Anna began applying these steps daily, and over time, she not only experienced physical improvements, but also an emotional clarity that transformed her perspective. Anna realized that when we let God guide our lives, every challenge becomes an opportunity for learning and spiritual growth. And here's a question for you to reflect on. What difference would it make in your life if you applied these 5 steps today? Think about the impact it would have on your family, your work, your health, and most importantly, your inner peace. Often, the biggest obstacle isn't external circumstances, but our own resistance to trust and surrender. In the next few minutes, we'll explore even more deeply how to maintain faith even in difficulties, identify unexpected miracles, and continue growing on the journey of surrender. You'll see that even in situations that seem impossible, the divine presence works in surprising ways, bringing solutions that the human mind could never imagine. Have you noticed how life can change when you decide to give everything to God? But are you really ready for this transformation? Today, I want you to reflect deeply. How many opportunities, miracles, and blessings might you be missing simply by not trusting completely? Giving your life to God isn't just an act of faith. It's a declaration of courage. Courage to let go of control, to give up fear and anxiety, and to allow something greater to guide your steps. It's understanding that you don't need to fight alone, that there's a perfect plan for your life, and that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, learn, and move closer to what God has prepared for you. Let's talk about what it means to live surrender daily. Surrender isn't a one-time event. It's a constant practice. It's looking at every difficulty, every decision, and every moment of your life with confidence. It's making choices aligned with your spiritual values even when the path seems uncertain. It's observing the signs, recognizing small victories, and above all, keeping unwavering faith even in adversity. Imagine for a moment if you started today applying these principles. If you let God guide your steps, what would your life be like in a few months? What changes would you notice in your health, relationships, career, and most importantly, inner peace? The truth is, miracles happen every day, but often we only recognize them when we are willing to trust fully and give our lives completely. Allow me to share some inspiring stories that show the power of surrender. There are people who faced devastating losses, huge financial problems, and serious illnesses. When all seemed lost, by giving their lives to God, unexpected solutions arose, relationships strengthened, and doors that seemed closed opened in astonishing ways. These stories aren't exceptions. They show that true surrender transforms lives. And here's a special invitation for you. Don't wait another day to experience the power of surrender. Start today. Reflect on what you're trying to control alone and give it to God. Pray sincerely, act in faith, observe the signs, and free yourself from fears and resentments. By doing this, you'll open the way for miracles you might not even imagine. Now, I want you to think, what miracle do you desire in your life? It could be healing from physical or emotional pain, the reconciliation of a relationship, the achievement of a dream, or simply inner peace. Whatever it is, know that when you give everything to God, He transforms every detail and works in ways beyond our understanding. Before we finish, I want to emphasize that this journey of surrender is unique and personal. There's no perfect moment to start. The time is now. Every step taken in faith, every prayer made sincerely, and every decision made with trust brings you closer to the miracles God wants to accomplish in your life. If this video touched your heart and brought clarity on how to trust and give your life to God, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Message from the Angels today, and leave your like. This helps others find content that strengthens faith and transforms lives. Share this video with someone who needs hope and inspiration. Remember, surrender is the path to true freedom, peace, and miracles. No matter how hard or impossible it seems, when you trust in God and allow Him to guide your life, everything becomes possible. Start today, open your heart, and be amazed at what God can accomplish in your life.